All right, so let's jump right in.
Sounds good.
Today we're doing a deep dive into the Santa Clarita real estate market.
Awesome.
And you've given us a really cool source to work with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a year-end update from a local realtor named Connor.
I have seen some of his stuff. He's good.
Yeah, and you know what I like about it is it's like hyper-local, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Zeroing in on trends in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Not just like some broad overview.
No, it's granular.
I like it.
And he doesn't just talk either. He's got visuals and data.
Oh, cool.
Straight from the MLS.
Nice.
So
we've got the real deal here.
we got the real deal.
Yeah.
So picture this.
Okay.
End of the year, holidays are in full swing, things are winding down.
Yeah.
Does that mean the Santa Clarita real estate market is taking a nap too?
Well, Connor says that things are definitely quieter, which makes sense. It's the holidays.
Sure.
But here's the thing. Quieter doesn't equal dead.
Right. In fact, Connor's Market Watch even shows that 29 properties went pending. Yeah. 29 closed.
So
in just the last 7 days.
that's not nothing.
That's not a ghost town.
No, not at all. And this is where it gets interesting. Connor says this slowdown, this is typical for this time of year.
Okay.
And we can expect things to pick back up in the new year.
Oh.
So anyone out there thinking about jumping into the Santa Clarita market,
Yeah,
don't hit that snooze button just yet.
Hold off on those holiday cookies. There might be deals to be had.
Possibly.
Okay, so one of the most interesting things I think that Connor talks about is this concept of seller leverage.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, he's saying that in the current market, sellers are still, they're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
They hold most of the cards in negotiations, and he throws out a stat to back it up.
Okay.
91.7%.
Oh.
Closed price percentage across Santa Clarita.
Okay, hold on. So that means that...
Yeah, so even though some sellers have had to reduce their prices,
right,
they're still getting really close to their asking prices.
91.7%.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, assume that when things slow down,
yeah,
it's a buyer's market.
Right.
But that doesn't seem to be the case here.
It really challenges that assumption,
Yeah.
This data suggests that even with this little end-of-year lull, there's still enough demand in Santa Clarita to give sellers a significant advantage.
Interesting. So if you're thinking about selling...
Yeah, you're a seller.
You're entering the game with a strong hand.
You've got a good hand. Yeah.
Okay, but what about the buyers out there?
Yeah, where do they fit into all of this?
Where do they fit in?
Yeah.
Well, Connor breaks down the Santa Clarita market into different property types.
Makes sense.
He says single-family homes, they make up about 70% of the market, with condos and townhomes rounding out the other 30%.
Got it.
And when you look at all these property types together, the median list price is $825,000.
$825,000.
That's a pretty hefty number.
Yeah, that's a big number.
What does that tell us about the Santa Clarita market overall?
Well, it definitely suggests that it's a relatively high-value market.
Okay.
Which makes sense, with what we were just talking about, with sellers having that leverage. But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Connor points out that sales are happening much faster.
Oh, really?
In the $200,000 to $300,000 range.
Interesting. So there's
activity happening
at more accessible price points.
Okay, so it's not just a playground
not just for the rich and famous.
For the rich and famous. But then things slow down for properties over $900,000.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So it makes you wonder,
It does?
Are there different types of buyers?
They're different.
In those different price brackets.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a city within a city.
It is.
Each with its own personality and price tag.
Exactly.
Connor also gets into some of those geographic nuances too, doesn't he?
He does.
Like different areas. Yeah, he mentions Valencia and Newhall Canyon country as like areas with a lot of activity, each with its own kind of average price point and price per square foot.
So location, location, location.
Always key.
Always key. But then Connor throws in this curveball.
Oh, boy.
HOAs and Mello-Roos.
Ah, yes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so HOAs,
Yeah.
homeowners associations.
Right.
They're common in these like planned communities.
Okay.
And they come with these monthly fees that cover stuff like landscaping, community amenities, sometimes even utilities.
So it's like a mini government for your neighborhood?
Yeah, like a mini government.
And then there's Mello-Roos.
Yeah, Mello-Roos is a whole other beast.
It is.
That's a special tax assessment.
Right.
That funds infrastructure improvements in certain areas.
Oh, wow.
So on top of your property taxes, you could have this additional tax.
And that can be a lot.
It can be a lot.
Yeah, Connor's point is that these costs, they can really add up. They do.
And they aren't always obvious up front.
Especially for people who maybe are coming from a different type of market.
Yeah, it's like that extra baggage fee.
Yes.
At the airport.
Exactly.
You think you got a great deal on a ticket?
You do?
And then, bam, another $50 for your carry-on.
Exactly. Like, where did that come from?
Right. So even if the sticker price on a house seems manageable,
right,
those HOAs in Melrose
could
make a big difference.
For sure.
In your monthly expenses.
Big time. So Connor even gives this tip.
Oh, yeah.
He says, make sure your agent gets a list of utility charges from the seller.
That's smart.
Right.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you want to know the real cost?
It's like checking the menu prices before you sit down at a fancy restaurant.
Exactly. You don't want to be surprised.
You don't want sticker shock when the bill comes.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've learned that Santa Clarita is experiencing a slowdown.
A typical slowdown.
Typical slowdown.
But sellers still hold a lot of leverage.
That's right.
And location.
Big one.
Plays a key role. And understanding those HOAs in Melrose is super important.
Absolutely crucial.
But there's so much more to uncover.
There is.
What about those coming soon listings?
Oh, yeah. What about those?
The whispers of future inventory.
I like that.
We'll be back in just a moment to dig into those.
Can't wait.
And see what other clues Connor's update reveals about the future of Santa Clarita real estate.
Let's do it.
It's amazing how much we can learn from just one realtor's update.
Right.
We're back to our deep dive into the Santa Clarita real estate market.
Yeah, it's all about reading between the lines, connecting the dots.
Remember those coming soon listings that Connor talked about?
Yeah, the ones about to hit the market.
The whispers of future inventory.
He mentioned 3 of them, right?
I think so. Yeah, 3. What's the big deal about those?
Well, it gives us a glimpse into new inventory coming onto the market, which could have a ripple effect on buyers and sellers.
So for buyers, it could mean more options.
Potentially less competition.
Less competition. For sellers, maybe they need to
adjust their pricing.
Adjust their pricing a little bit.
To stand out from the crowd.
Right. So these coming soon listings are like
little whispers of change.
Little whispers of change.
Yeah.
Speaking of strategy.
Yeah.
Connor also highlighted the importance of understanding the different types of loans being accepted.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
See, this is where I get confused.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing.
Because I know there are different types of loans.
Right.
But I don't really get how they affect the market.
It's actually more important than you might think.
Really?
Because different loan programs have different requirements.
Okay.
And knowing which ones are prevalent in Santa Clarita can give buyers an advantage.
So how could knowing about loan programs help a buyer?
Well, imagine this.
Okay.
You find the perfect place. You're ready to make an offer. But the seller wants to close quickly. Oh. If you're pre-approved for a loan program, that's known for its speed and efficiency.
Okay.
Your offer might look a lot better than someone who's using a loan that's known for being a little more leisurely.
So it's not just about getting approved for a loan.
No.
It's about getting approved for the right kind of loan.
The right kind of loan.
Exactly.
You know, one thing that I thought was interesting about Connor's update was how he talked about the emotional side of real estate.
Oh.
Because it's easy to get caught up in the numbers and the data.
It is.
But buying or selling a home?
It's personal.
It's a really personal experience.
Yeah, he's right on the money when he says it's not just a financial transaction. No. It's a deeply personal one.
And in a market like Santa Clarita, where homes tend to hold their value, those emotions can run even higher, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are putting down roots.
Yeah.
They're building memories.
These aren't just houses. They're home.
They're homes, right? And when you factor in those emotions, negotiations can get a little intense.
It's like a poker game.
It is.
But the stakes are higher.
Way higher. The stakes are people's dreams.
And aspirations.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important for both buyers and sellers to work with agents who get that.
They understand the human side of it.
Yes, the human side.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
We've been talking about Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
What about those bigger economic forces?
Oh, yeah.
That impact real estate?
The national stuff.
Like interest rates, job growth, the overall economic climate. How do those play in?
That's a great point.
I mean, Connor's update is very Santa Clarita focused.
Hyperlocal.
Hyperlocal, right?
Yeah.
But local markets are influenced by national trends.
They are.
I think of it as like Santa Clarita is a ship sailing on the ocean of the natural economy.
Got it.
If the natural economy hits a storm, those waves are going to rock the boat in Santa Clarita.
Even if the local waters seem calm.
Even if the local waters seem calm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if interest rates go up nationally, that affects affordability in Santa Clarita.
Even if the local economy is strong.
Right? Or if there's a recession and job losses increase, that could dampen demand.
Even in a desirable market like Santa Clarita.
So even though we're hyper-local, we can't ignore those national currents.
We can't ignore those currents. No.
Connor doesn't talk about those broader economic factors.
He doesn't.
But he encourages us to do our own research.
Which is a good point.
It is a good point, because no single source can give us the complete picture.
That's true.
It's about layering those perspectives, analyzing different data points, and coming to our own conclusions.
Exactly.
But Connor has given us a really good foundation, I think.
A good foundation to build on.
All right. So now that we've laid that foundation, let's turn our attention to the future.
The future?
What does Connor's update tell us about what might be next?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
For the Santa Clarita market. Let's gaze into that crystal ball.
I love it.
And see what clues we can find.
Let's do it.
We'll be back in just a moment to explore those possibilities. Don't go anywhere. We've been unpacking Connor's year-end Santa Clarita real estate update.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's given us
a lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
For sure.
We've covered market trends. Hidden costs.
HOAs, Mello-Roos.
The emotions.
All of it.
Buying and selling.
Quite a journey.
It's been quite a journey.
But now...
let's
talk about the future.
Let's talk about the future.
What might the Santa Clarita real estate market look like in the coming year?
Connor doesn't have a crystal ball.
He doesn't.
But I think his update gives us some clues.
Okay.
If we look closely.
I like it.
Remember how he mentioned those properties over $900,000?
Yeah, the ones taking longer to sell.
Taking longer to sell. Is there a shift happening in that luxury market?
It's possible, you know.
Yeah.
It's possible that with interest rates rising, those higher priced homes are
less accessible.
Yeah.
So if someone's thinking of selling $1 million home in Santa Clarita, they might need to
adjust their expectations.
Yeah.
Price more competitively. Or be prepared to wait a little longer.
To wait a little longer.
The right buyer.
Even in a strong market like Santa Clarita. Certain segments can be susceptible.
More susceptible.
To economic changes.
For sure.
But on the flip side, Connor also pointed out sales in that $200,000 to $300,000 range.
Yes.
They're moving quickly.
Strong demand.
Strong demand from first-time buyers, maybe.
Yeah. Or those looking for more affordable options.
So could we see more development in that segment of the market?
Possibly. More townhouses, more condos.
Yeah.
Be developers and builders.
Yeah.
They respond to market demand.
Right.
So if that lower price point is hot, they might shift their strategy.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
How these pieces all fit together.
It's like a puzzle.
It's like a giant puzzle.
Where everything affects everything else.
Exactly.
So here's the key takeaway.
Okay.
Whether you're thinking about buying or selling. In Santa Clarita, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowing the trends.
Knowing the trends.
Knowing those hidden costs.
Those hidden costs.
That we talked about.
HOAs, Mello-Roos.
Yeah, all of that.
It can help you.
Make good decisions.
Make informed decisions.
Informed decisions.
This deep dive is just a starting point.
A starting point. That's right.
Connor encourages viewers to do their own research.
And we echo that sentiment.
Keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep asking questions.
And stay informed.
Stay informed about this dynamic market.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe you'll find a hidden gem in Santa Clarita that's perfect for you.
That would be nice.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Santa Clarita real estate market.